Good morning, students. In this class, we will see different clustering methods, categorization of major clustering methods, how we divided different clustering methods, different clustering techniques that we will see here. The major clustering methods can be classified into the following categories. So, clustering methods are divided into a number of categories like this: partitioning methods, hierarchical methods, density based methods, grid based methods, model based methods. Like this, the clustering methods can be divided. Next, classes of clustering tasks. How the clustering tasks, what are the actions performed on clustering tasks, that those can be divided into two classes: clustering high dimensional data. Next, constraint based clustering. Okay, these are the two clustering tasks we are having, two types of clustering tasks. Then we will go with different methods. Orally only we will go how the categorization can be done. uh, each and every one in next sessions we will see each and every method in depth and with an example. In this present example, we will see orally what is meant by each and every method. First one, partitioning method. What is meant by partitioning method? Partitioning methods constructs various partitions and then evaluate them by some criterion. So you have to divide the data into different parts. That may number of clusters. Okay, so 5 clusters, 6 clusters, 7, like that. So you can divide into number of categories, number of partitions, and you have to evaluate. So those are not may similar or may not similar. That's why again you have to check the clustering condition, clustering criteria. What is the clustering condition? What is the clustering constraint we are having? In each and every cluster, all the elements are similar, and that particular cluster is completely dissimilar to other cluster. That you have to once check. Constructs various partitions and then evaluate them by some criteria. Using some criteria, you have to evaluate the evaluate the each and every part, each and every cluster you have to evaluate. Okay, so different clusters you have to make, different clusters you have to divide the data into different cluster. Then you have to find out, you have to check that all the elements within the cluster are similar or not. Yeah, otherwise you have to again you have to rearrange the data into different parts. Okay, like that finally you have to apply, you can apply different steps. So finally you have to find out the different clusters such that each and every cluster contain all the elements within the cluster are similar. So and that particular cluster is completely dissimilar to other cluster. So that is partitioning method. Minimizing the sum of square errors. This is an example for partitioning methods. We are having different partitioning methods: k-means, k-medoids, Clarence. In these three examples, I can say k-means is very basic method and very important method. First, we will see the k-means method. Once we recapturing of all these overall view we have seen, next we will see the k-means method. So for next, hierarchical method. What is meant by hierarchical method? The clustering method, in clustering, hierarchical method is nothing but level by level. If you are clustering, that is a hierarchical method. Number of elements, data set. In data set you are having number of data objects, number of elements. You are uh, you are forming clusters based on the level by level, based on a level by level, based in a hierarchical manner. In a hierarchical manner you are forming clusters. That is nothing but hierarchical method. Create a hierarchical decomposition of the set of data or objects using some criteria. This method is classified on based on the following methods. Just nothing but you are dividing the data or combining the data. Okay, so and forming clusters. So if you are taking a data set that contains 100 elements, 100 objects, if you are dividing those 100 objects into first 50 into one, second 50 into another. So what you have done, you divided. Okay, that is nothing but here second approach. In the slide you can observe divisive approach. Divisive approach is nothing but you have to divide. Here what you are doing, you are dividing 100 elements into 50 50, again 50 elements into 25 25, like that from higher to lower, top to down you are dividing. So from top to down again and again at each and every level you are dividing the data into different categories based upon the dissimilarity. Based upon the dissimilarity, you are dividing the data into group, means that is nothing but the clustering. You are applying clustering from top to bottom. Level by level, you are applying clustering. Level by level, you are doing clustering. So like that, you are dividing the data into different groups based on the dissimilarity. That is nothing but top down or divisive approach. Starts with all the objects. So initially, if that contains 100 elements, just take the 100 elements in the same clusters. In each and successive iteration, a cluster is split. Each and every level, the cluster is splitting into two parts or three parts based upon the dissimilarity. If, based upon the distinguishing property, just you are dividing the data into different categories. So from top to bottom, top to down, top down. That's why it is a divisive approach. Until which step you have to do, until when you have to stop this. A cluster is split up into smaller and smaller and smaller cluster until eventually each object is in one cluster, or until a termination condition holds. Okay, you have to follow this procedure until some particular condition. What is that condition? Is nothing but similarity. If you divided, finally you get three elements. Those three elements are completely similar, 100% similar. You cannot divide those three elements into again subdivide into 2 and 1. Then that is the termination condition. Then you have to stop. Any distinguishing property is there, then you have to again divide those into three items into two clusters. So that is the divisive approach, top down approach, from top to bottom. Number of elements in the higher level is very high, 1000 or 1 lakh elements. You have to divide for the next level, again you have to divide for the next level, again you have to divide for the next level. Level by level, you have to divide the data into different clusters based upon the dissimilarity. So that is nothing but divisive approach. What is meant by agglomerative approach? Agglomerative approach is nothing but bottom up approach, from bottom to top. So if you have done one approach, means other one is nothing but just opposite to that. You just take the divisive approach, and from bottom to top if you go, yes, you combine two clusters. uh, Based upon the similarity, you are combining two clusters from bottom to top. So then that is nothing but the agglomerative approach. So in the lower level, you are combining here 25 25. These two 25s are having some common feature, that based on that you are combining. So again that 50 and the second 50 combining consists of some common feature, you are combining, and you are going to higher level, that is 100. Okay, so just you take 100 students, that is in the first level, for example, divided two parts like that. First 50 students having strong technical knowledge, second 50 students are not having strong technical knowledge. First 50 students you can again divide into two types like that. 25 are having strong communication skills, 25 are not having strong communication skills. Non-technical knowledge students also, students who are not having technical knowledge, those 50 also you can divide into two types: strong communication skills and other not having strong communication skills. 25 25 25 25. So four categories totally. Okay, so just you assume that this is a top down approach, from top to bottom. What is the commonality? So all 100 students are students, that is the first one. Based upon the dissimilarity, you are dividing. What is the dissimilarity? Technical knowledge. 50 are having, 50 are not having, that is the dissimilarity. Again, in that 50, what you are doing, again dividing based upon the dissimilarity. What is the dissimilarity? Communication skills. 25 are having communication skills, 25 are not having communication skills. Based upon the dissimilarity, from top to bottom, if you are dividing, and okay, if you are dividing and you are going from top to bottom, you are forming clusters. That is nothing but the divisive approach. Bottom up is agglomerative is just opposite to this. So same example you take, in the bottom level what you are having: 25 25 25 25, four categories. First 25 is the persons having strong communication skills and strong technical knowledge. Second one is the persons having not communication skills and strong technical knowledge. Next, third one is no technical knowledge and strong communication skills. Next, fourth one is no technical knowledge and no communication skills. These are the four types. So then how you can combine these and from bottom to top? Again I am saying, so 1 2 first 25 second 25. What is the commonality? Okay, what is the difference is nothing but communication skills and not communication skills. Commonality is from for first 25 25. What is the commonality? Both are having strong technical knowledge. Based on that you are combining these two 25 25 and going to higher level 50 students. So second 50 for that also from lower level. So what is the commonality? Those 25 25 set of students are not having strong technical knowledge. Those two sets of people are not having strong technical knowledge. Just you combine them. What is the commonality? What is the commonality? They are not having the strong technical knowledge. Difference is nothing but they are some first 25 having communication skills and other 25 not having communication skills. Okay, based upon the similarity you are going from lower to higher. So that is the difference simply here. So for agglomerative, bottom to up you are going based upon the similarity. Divisive approach means from top to bottom you are considering the dissimilarity. Based upon dissimilarity you are dividing the data into clusters. That is the divisive approach. So this is the hierarchical clustering method. Next, density based method. Density based method, it is based on connectivity and density functions. You have to find out the connectivity and density values using some formulae. Based upon that you have to divide the data into clusters. Example are TB scan, optics, densloop. These all are example for density based method. Grid based method, it is based on multiple level granularity structure. Typical methods are sting, wave, cluster. These are the different grid based method. Density means the points are very nearer, density is high. The elements objects are very far, then the density is low. Okay. Based on density you are dividing the data into clusters. That is the density based method. Based upon grid, based upon the granularity you are dividing data into different clusters. That is grid based method. Next, model based method. Model based method means this model is hypothesized for each of the clusters and tries to find the best fit of that model to each other. Model based method, which the particular object is suitable for which method, which model. We are having five models, for example. We are having one object. So you have to compare this object with each and every model. So finally you have to find out the best fit. This object is completely 100% fit into which model. Like that you have to find out. That is nothing but the model based methods. Example are EM, SOM, cobweb, like this one by one. We'll see. We will see these all clustering methods. We will see different types of clustering methods with examples. Those examples we will see with practically. Then you can understand clearly. Next, classes of clustering tasks are as follows. What are the clustering tasks we will see? Clustering high dimensional data. You can do clustering on high dimensional data, 2 dimension, 3 dimension, like that. Those high dimensional data also you are doing clustering. It is a particularly important task in cluster analysis because many applications require the analysis of objects containing a large number of features or dimensions. Here, see here, clustering high dimensional data. It is important task in clustering analysis. Many applications require. See here, in real time, high dimensional data is very important. Data warehousing itself, the 3 dimensional data warehousing is nothing but cube. It consists of 3 dimensions. Okay, clustering uh, um, on high dimensional data is very important. You have to form groups on high dimensional data. Why? Because data warehouse itself it is big data. You are going with data is increasing day by day, becoming more and more huge amount of data, large amount of data coming. So then high dimensional data require, we require high dimensional data. Then you have, there is a necessity, there is a need, emerging need for the clustering on this high dimensional data. So clustering should be applied on this high dimensional data. So require the analysis of objects containing large number of features and dimensions. So from on those also clustering has to be applied. Second one, constraint based clustering. So clustering you have to do uh, based upon some constraints, some conditions. Okay, we have some conditions. Based upon those conditions, we have to divide the data into clusters. We have to do the clustering. That is also very important. Is a clustering approach that performs clustering by incorporation of user specified or application oriented constraints. Okay, you constraints, the user specified constraints or application oriented constraints. uh, we can give constraints during clustering. Those constraints also should be satisfied. For that application we require that the constraints, those constraints also should be followed. That is nothing but constraint based clustering. Based upon constraints we have to do clustering. That is also very very important. We have to do clustering on high dimensional data. We have to do clustering on based upon different constraints which given by us or which given by the end user based for the application that is needed. For those conditions, with those constraints also, based upon those constraints also we have to do clustering. So these are the clustering tasks, different clustering tasks we will see. Okay, this is about the different clustering methods, major clustering methods and clustering tasks. Okay, in the next session we will see one by one clustering method and these tasks. Okay, in brief.